All right. So first of all, hello, everyone. Welcome. I am Jackie Durbin, and I'm excited that you're here to learn how you can use your kvCORE to actually convert more for sale by owners. So what I will tell you is a lot of people stay away from for sale by owners just because they're not known as the kindest people to call, which is the reason why I don't mind calling them, because I know they're going to cuss at me and hang up the phone. So I'm just like, bring it. I'm ready. Expireds, a lot of people do not call expireds because they assume that everyone else is calling them. And I don't have to tell you what happens when you assume. So let's go ahead and get started. So a little bit about me. I have 4 kids. I have a 20-year-old, a 19-year-old, a 16-year-old, and then a newly 8-year-old. I am a published author. I am a team owner with my husband. We both run the D team here at eXp Realty. I have 2 podcasts. One is called Teachers in Real Estate, because I was a teacher for 20 years before I jumped into real estate. And what I found is that there's so much stuff that I did as a teacher that relates to this industry. And so I love to be able to share that with other teachers who are thinking like, I've had too much, or I'm ready to retire, or this is not the job for me, and I'm doing a disservice to these students. So anyhow, so I do that podcast. And then I also do a Rewire With Us podcast where I kind of spotlight other females in the industry who either have an incredible story to tell, or they have a value that they would like to provide to other females in the industry. So that way everyone's client gets the best service. Rewire With Us came from a retreat that I do twice a year called Rewire. It's a retreat for women in real estate where I invite speakers to come out. We have like an entire planning 3-day session. So that's kind of cool. And then when I got into real estate, I realized that I kind of missed the teaching. So that's when I started coaching agents on kvCORE, and that's why you're here. So for sale by owners. Okay, before I do that, let me just tell you a little bit about how I teach. So I do a slide deck. I go through everything. Then I jump into kvCORE and I show you how to do each of the steps. You will receive this slide deck and the recording for this, this training. The one thing that I do ask is, because it's a paid training and because I make my Zoom trainings extremely affordable, please do not share it with every Tom, Dick, and Harry that you know, because then I have to raise my prices, which means other agents can't afford to attend. So anyhow, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the script that I use that's actually given me about a 25% conversion rate. I'm going to talk about how you actually find your for sale by owners. There's multiple ways. I'm going to talk about Core Present, which is the tool inside of kvCORE that I use to kind of create that relationship and start building that trust with that for sale by owner. Is she in the waiting room? Nope, I don't even have the waiting room on. So she is probably on the wrong Zoom. Tell her she needs to go to her calendar. Oh, sorry about that, guys. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about how to build some campaign and task inside of your kvCORE, so that way you can stay in touch with them. Now, everything that I'm doing is the exact same thing that you'll be able to do with expireds, with the exception of I actually have a campaign built out to my expireds. Some people find that it's hard to get expireds information. My title company actually sends me a list every single week of, hey, here's all the expireds. There's also other ways that you can find that information, but it's basically the same thing. You're wanting to preview their home. You're wanting to have a conversation with them. You're wanting to find out, you know, one, are you going to relist your home? And if you are, what is your timeline? Obviously, you didn't sell your house last time. What do you think we need to do differently? And then let me offer suggestions as well. So let me, that keeps getting in my way. So this is what I do when I call a for sale by owner. Okay, so I use Zillow to find my for sale by owners because they're on there and I already have their phone number. And when I call them, I introduce myself and I identify myself as a real estate agent. Now, sometimes when I do that, their immediate response is, I'm not listing my home with you and I'm not paying you a commission. Fabulous. That's not the purpose of the call. Don't take it personal when they say that, because they are literally getting calls every single day by real estate agents. They're getting super frustrated. And so just don't take it personal. So when I call, I'm always like, hi, I'm trying to reach the owner of 123 West Maple. my name is, and they're like, oh, this is me. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, it's very nice to talk to you. My name is Jackie Durbin. I'm a realtor with eXp Realty, and I was calling to see if your home is still for sale. Oh, yes, it is still for sale. Awesome. Is there a time this week that I could come by and preview the property? Their immediate thing is, are you bringing a buyer? No, I'm not bringing a buyer. I'm working with several buyers, and what I do as a real estate agent on the buy side is I preview the properties first, just because I have a very good understanding of what my buyers are looking for. Now, at this point in the conversation, some of the homeowners will be like, no, unless you're bringing a buyer, you can't come to view the home. Very well. Have a great day, and I hope that you sell your home very soon. And then I hang up the phone, and then I go take a walk because they pissed me off, okay? If they say, yes, you can come by and preview the property, then I go ahead and set the appointment. I do not, on this phone call, talk about commission. I do not, on this phone call, ask them why they're selling. I have nothing. The purpose of the phone call is just to schedule the appointment. And that's where a lot of people kind of flounder a little bit. When I actually get to the house, I introduce myself. I offer them my card, so that way they know, yes, I'm an actual real estate agent. Plus, I want them to be able to have my phone number so they can call me back. And I'm asking them tons of questions. Why are you selling? How long have you been trying to sell this on your own? Do you have a timeline on when it needs to sell? Why am I asking this information is because that determines the type of marketing as a listing agent that you would do, right? More aggressive marketing for a person who needs to sell their home maybe in like a month versus someone who's like, oh, if it sells, it sells. And if it doesn't, it doesn't, right? So while I'm also going through there, I'm asking them, oh, okay, this is a beautiful kitchen. Was it like this when you purchased it, or did you do this upgrade? Oh no, we remodeled the whole house. Oh, I'd love to see all of the different things that you've done. The reason why I'm doing that is because in my head, when you're marketing things, obviously you want to be able to say like, oh, this is a completely remodeled kitchen. All of the bathrooms have been updated, all of these different things. So as I'm going through, I'm asking these questions. I'm trying to build a relationship. It's just like any other listing appointment where you're trying to find something in the house that you can now relate to them and they can build trust with. Again, while I'm walking through the house, I'm not asking them, oh, if I bring a buyer, will you give me a commission? Because right now I don't necessarily have a buyer that I'm going to show this house to. I'm trying to get this listing, but I'm not telling them that. Okay. I do not talk about a commission. I do not ask them if they would list with me. I do not ask with them, how long are you going to wait before you list? I don't do any of those questions because there are 3 reasons why a for sale by owner listed on their own. 1, they think they're smarter than us, which is a lot of it. 2, they don't have enough equity to be able to list it with a agent and then get enough money out to actually like either be in the green or to just not be in the red. Or 3, they've been burned by one of our fellow agents before, and they've kind of lumped us all in as a bunch of piece of craps that don't care about anything but the money that we make. So during the conversations on the phone and the first time that we meet in person, the last thing I want to do is reiterate any of those ideas. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and preview the home. I'm going to walk around. We're going to try to build a little bit of a friendship. I can usually tell during that time if this is going to be an easy convert or if it's going to be super hard and I'm really going to have to work for it. Okay. But again, I'm not talking anything about commission. Before I leave, I ask them for their email. Okay. I'm like, hey, by the way, I know I have your phone number, but could I get your email? Because I'd love to email over a couple tips that I have. I have like a selling guide that I'd love to share with you just to give you some different tips and avenues that possibly could help you sell your house. All right. Now, the thing is, when I do that, they're going to get super excited because no one's ever offered to do that. Okay. So already I am breaking the mold of what they think is going on. Okay. So after I've done that and I've had the conversation and we've talked and we've met, now I'm going to go ahead and come home and make a core present inside of. So these are kind of like the different objections that you get when you call, like, I'm not paying a commission. Great. This isn't a listing presentation. I'm not calling you to get the listing. I'm calling just to be able to preview the property. So this is where I get my for sale by owners. I go on Zillow and I'll show you how to find that if you're unsure. And then I also call my title company. Here in Arizona, we're blessed. Our title companies work very good side by side with us. It's a total partnership. And so any information that I ask them for, they typically always give it to me. And it's fairly accurate. All right, so let's jump into kvCORE. All right. So the tool that I'm using when I'm actually trying to convert this for sale by owner into an actual listing is Core Present. You can find it under marketing in kvCORE. So Core Present is a great tool. It's 100% branded. It has all of your information, your broker information. It's beautiful. It has tons of information that is all up to date according to the market. There's tips for things. This can also be used not only with for sale by owners and expireds, but it can also be used like if you're mentoring brand new agents. This could be a great listing presentation that doesn't take them any time, and it also helps them know what to talk about while they're at that appointment. So this is how you're going to do it. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to click right here where it says win the listing. You're going to put in the address of the home. You're going to put in the city and the state. Then you're going to hit next. It's going to pop up and it's going to have most of the information in there. The thing that's always out is the bedroom count. So you need to kind of know what the bedroom count is before you get in there. And then you click this blue that says skip to the presentation. When this pulls up, it's going to show all the different options and all of the different sections that you have the ability to create inside of this Core Present. So this is going to be just the cover page. It's going to have their address. It's going to have their bedroom count, their square footage. If there's anything that you want to change, because I don't really want to have living area in there, you can take that out. Okay. If you misspelled something, it's not a problem. You can go ahead and go in here and you can make that change, and then you just hit apply. All right, so that's the introduction page. Down here, all of the different sections. Now, if I am doing this, using this tool as a listing presentation, there's other slides that I would include. Since I'm sending this to a for sale by owner and or an expired listing, there's things that I don't want to include. So when you click on this first section, why am I the right fit? This is going to show you that right now there's like the one slide on there. So if I can add slides. Now the slides are only the ones that are included. So right here, the very first thing after they see their address is going to be the value of an agent. That's probably not what I want to do. And the reason why is because they don't like us. And so why do I want to already piss them off? So I'm going to go ahead and unclick that. I am going to talk about the home selling process. I am going to talk about iBuyers. Okay. Because Open Door got sued and they got in big trouble, I am going to make sure that I use that information, not necessarily to slander them, but just to make my this potential client aware of different things that they may not have known yet. Okay. So next I'm going to go to what's my home worth. And I just went right through here. Okay. Whatever slides that I grab, they're going to go ahead and stay on there. So now I'm going to go to what's my home worth. This is going to be an overview of the CMA. It's going to give them a little bit of information of what's going on. I usually keep that one on. The CMA big picture, I can leave that on. I don't talk about pricing misconceptions. And the reason why is because they could take that the wrong way. A lot of for sale by owners are mispriced. They're overpriced, or maybe they're underpriced. I think most people think that their house is worth more though. And where do they usually get that information? There's the estimate. Okay, so I don't want to offend anyone. This whole presentation is to make them think, wow, she's giving me so much information. Okay, because again, I'm competing with all the other real estate agents that are calling these for sale by owners. So I'm going to leave this one off. Where do buyers get their information? I'm leaving that one off. That's not important. Now, when I go to market analysis, it shows me right here what kind of this house is valued at. Now, as a real estate agent, every single real estate agent knows a CMA created on a computer is not gospel. So one of the things that I always encourage people to do is do an actual price adjustment that you would do as a listing agent actually representing the seller. If this number is off, once they see it in print, they're like, that's my number. Oh my gosh, that's my number. And make sure that it's accurate. Okay. Just like Z estimates, kvCORE, sometimes our values are off as well, just because remember, it's like a rolling 30 days. So like when our market shifted really fast and abruptly, it took kvCORE about 2 to 3 months to start actually being accurate on what homes were worth. It was still over projecting what the sale was. So if this is off, take that off. Don't show it to them. Okay. What factors influence pricing? I do that. I'm not going to talk about pricing accordingly because chances are they are priced incorrectly. I'm not going to talk about the importance of opening weekend because guess what? They've already had the opening weekend. Now, marketing and buyer activity, I keep buyer demand on. I keep buyer interest off or on. I do talk about staging. I do not do my marketing plan. I do not talk about Property Boost or Core Social. Next steps is already going to be this right here that's going to have your branded information. So once I'm finished with everything, then I am going to hit present and share. And this is going to pop up. Now, here's the cool thing about this. I don't have to save it anywhere. Okay. They're automatically put in my folder in my core present. So on that main page, it's going to show you every single one that you've created. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open the presentation. And this is what's going to pop up. So how do I share this with that for sale by owner? So I've called them, I've scheduled the appointment, I've attended the appointment, and now I have their email. So now I'm going to go home, make this presentation. I'm going to open a Zoom. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to hit record. And I'm ultimately going to go through this entire presentation, giving them tips. So the first thing I always say is thank you so much for allowing me to come in your home. I know that you're getting a lot of phone calls from real estate agents. So I appreciate you making time for me to be able to come and view their property. Because you were so accommodating, I wanted to share some tips on helping you sell that house. In here, I'm just going to put it all out there. Okay. So I'm going to say, this is your home. So, oh, that is not supposed to be on there. Hang on a second. Okay, well, that one wasn't supposed to be on there, so I must have clicked the wrong button. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to talk about their competitive market. Hang on, this thing is in my way. Let me move that over. There we go. Okay. All right, so I'm going to talk about this, the neighborhood. Okay, guys, so here is your home. Any of the red dots are going to be homes that have already sold. Anything that is orange or yellowish is going to be something that is under contract. Anything that's green is what's active. So what we see right now is you have very little competition. Okay, so that's a good thing. However, because you're selling it by owner, because there's only one other house right now in the neighborhood that's for sale, that means there's not a lot of traffic coming in from other things. So one of the things that might be a good suggestion is really work on vamping up, getting it out there that your house is for sale. Okay, so I'm already dropping tips and nuggets based on what I find as a real estate agent. Then I'm going to talk about, okay, guys, this is just a little snapshot of recent homes that are active. Recent sold, it's going to talk about the highest sold, but let's go ahead and look at these comparables. So your home is currently priced at $575, which puts it in this category right here. Now, I don't like to compare with active properties because just because it's on the market for this price doesn't mean it's going to sell for this price. Okay. So what I want to see is I want to see the ones that have closed. So let's go ahead and view these homes that are in this price. So currently this is the home that is for sale at the $585 price. Okay. And again, it's still on the market. This is the home that is currently pending. Okay. Here's the cool thing. And I'm saying this to you, not to the client. I can actually view all of the pictures inside of this home. So that way I can really know like, hey, how does this home compare to your home? Okay. So this home has been recently updated. They have the subway tile. They have a nice big island. Nothing really looks like, I mean, this is like a turnkey house, right? So when I'm looking at this, if their home still has builder grade everything, I might say, okay, guys, so we're still in the same price. However, look at what your competition is. Okay. I'm not telling them lower their price. I'm just saying, I just want you to be aware of what's going on. And then these are the ones that have recently sold. Okay. So they can go ahead and look at all of these houses. They can see what was sold. Okay. So this was $590. This one was $680. Okay. It took it 120 days to sell. So I can also talk about the pricing. Okay. So like, look, guys, you know, this is your pricing. You've been on the market. You told me for just under a month. These homes in this prices, they're not selling in that first month. So what that tells me is still stay, you know, encouraged. All right. It also sold December 22. Okay, so it does give you the dates also. So that way you can kind of talk about that. All right, I'm going to go out of that, and then I'm going to go to the next screen. And then I'm going to talk about this, guys. Okay, so I know that it is not your full-time job to be a real estate agent. It's my full-time job. So I wanted to let you know a little bit about the market, again, just to make you feel better. One thing that we are seeing is that there is a price rate change that is actually going in the red. Okay, it's not huge, but this is our average price per square foot. This is what my computer and my analysis thinks that your home should be priced at, which goes right along with your price. So you are priced accordingly. Please do not get discouraged and start bringing down your price. Okay. What we are seeing though is that current active shelf life is 61 days. Okay. So what I would encourage you to do is to continue to market your house, continue to let people know, make sure that you're getting it out there. I'm not going to talk about that. I don't know why that did that. Okay. Buyer demand. Okay, guys, so what we're seeing right now is this is where your house is. Now, the darker the blue, the more demand. Okay, so we're not seeing a lot of demand. Now, I did do a little bit of research, and I see that there is a new casino that's being built directly behind your neighborhood. I don't know if that might be causing people to think, but that's something that we can't really control. Okay, we're going to find someone who loves to go to the casino, and they're going to think that your house is wonderful because they can just walk there and they don't have to do parking or worry about driving and having a cocktail. Okay, this is the pitch sheet. So this is really cool because it shows how many people are actually online right now in EXP that are looking at homes. Now, if you're not with EXP, don't worry. It's still going to show how many people, and it'll have your brokerage on there. Then it's going to say how many people are currently looking for homes in this area. Okay, this is why it's so important to actually put in your property searches inside of kvCORE, because now your buyers come in here and it gives us more data. Then we're going to say, okay, guys, there are over 10,000 people who are currently looking for a home in this area, and this is in their price point. And they're going to be like, wow, well, I haven't had 10,000 people call me. Well, I mean, your home isn't on the MLS. So all those real estate agents that are calling, yeah, they're all trying to get your listing, but they might have buyers who are looking for this house. Okay. And then we're going to talk about the featured buyers. So this is their algorithm to determine how many people would actually save this home. Okay. Now we all know that just because they save it doesn't mean they're going to view it. Okay. So a lot of people kind of get freaked out like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have 616 showings. God, I hope not. That would be a lot. Okay. I don't talk about marketing plan. I don't talk about my social. So this is the end where it shows my picture that was updated or uploaded onto my kvCORE profile. It has my name, my license number, my phone number, and ways to get a hold of me. So when I get to this point in the slide, I say, guys, you know what? You already have my phone number and my email, but I just wanted to give it to you one more time. Here are two things that I would do right now. Number one, I would go around and I would talk to your neighbors. Okay, when you're out putting your garbage out, if you see someone outside, have a conversation with them. Ask them if they know anyone who is looking to purchase and wants to get into the area. You have to remember, as a homeowner who's selling their house on your own, you have to constantly tell people that your house is for sale. The other thing that I would do is I would do what's called a mega open house. Okay, now why am I saying mega open house? Because I want it to sound so freaking stressful that they're going to be like, I can't do that. Okay, so I'm going to tell them, guys, what I would encourage you to do is have a mega open house. Okay, one of the things that I find that's the most appealing to people getting to my open house is having food. Okay, reserve a food truck, ask them to come and sit over there. You may even have some of those in your neighborhood. If you need some different ideas, I can tell you with vendors that I've used for all of my open houses, what I'm doing is I'm basically telling them what I do as a listing agent, but I'm not actually asking for the listing. So I encourage them, I give them tips, and I only give them 2 out. I'm not going to give them everything. Okay. And then what I'm going to say is, okay, guys, you know what? Again, it was so nice to meet you. I appreciate you allowing me to come into your house. The pictures and video that I took of your home, I'm going to share with a couple of my buyers, and then I'll be in touch on Monday to let you know what they're saying. Okay. The reason why I'm doing Monday is because inside of kvCORE, I am going to now import their information. Now, if I'm importing their information, I can either go to my dashboard and use this quick action, or I can go to the Smart CRM and add the contact. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here. I'm going to add their contact information. I'm going to put in their name. I'm going to put in their last name. I'm going to put in their email, their cell phone number. I'm going to say, yes, yes, yes. I have permission to call, text, and email them. I am putting in their address. I'm going to put in that they're a seller. I'm going to put in here that they are a prospect. This is someone that I have met, I have talked with. They know that I'm a real estate agent, and now I want to try to convert them into a client. Right here for the smart campaign, I'm going to have a for sale by owner campaign, and I'm going to show you how to build that here in just a minute. And I'm going to go ahead and start that. I'm not CCing a lender. And then right here in the notes, this is the only part in kvCORE where you actually use the symbol, the hashtag symbol. So I'm going to put right here, and I'm going to put FSBO. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and add the contact. Once I add a contact, and I hit the enter, then this is going to pop up. Okay. It'll show the hashtags that are already on there. And then over here, it's going to have their search alerts, their active campaigns, which should show the for sale by owner campaign that's attached. If not, then I'm just going to go ahead and hit this. And then I'm going to add the for sale by owner campaign. I am going to add a market report. Okay. Because I know that it's going to take them a while to sell the house, and I want them to know what's going on in their neighborhood. So I'm going to click add, and I'm going to add the actual name of the neighborhood. So this one was Sun Groves. So I'm going to hit Sun Groves, and I'm going to click neighborhood, and I'm going to say every 28 days, and I'm going to hit add. Okay. What that's going to do is, because I have their email, it's going to email them a market report of all of the homes that are for sale. It's going to show them price per square footage. It's going to show them the trends of as far as price, listing price, and then also the number of current active homes that are there. So I'm going to do both of those. I've already done a core present for them. Okay. I'm not going to do a listing valuation. I'm not going to do anything else. Okay. So now I'm finished. Now, the campaign that I am making is 100% task. All right, so to do your campaign, you're going to go to marketing and smart campaigns. And you're going to go to templates. Okay. You're going to add a template, and it's going to be a task. Okay. You're going to create one task, and then you're going to repeat it 7 times. Okay. So this is going to be my for sale by owner. So hashtag FSBO. The reason why I put a hashtag is not because it does anything. It's just a character that I choose to use. So that way it's easier for me to find these. So I'm going to put task. The title of the task is going to be call and follow up. I am going to call this for sale by owner every single Monday. The reason why I'm calling on Monday is, one, it's the beginning of the week. If they did host an open house over the weekend, then I can go ahead and see how that went. What was their strategy? How did they market it? How did they get it out? And the reason why is because I'm going to offer these tips that are going to sound so freaking time consuming and hard that they're going to be like, yeah, no, I don't have time for that. Okay. So right here in the comment, I'm just going to say, okay, one of the questions is it under contract? That's always going to be a good question that I need to ask. I'm also going to know how many showings. Did you try any new marketing? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and add that template. Now I'm going to add another template that says text and says FSBO text. And I'm only going to send this one time. All right. Now it doesn't give you the action items, but basically you're hitting shift and the bracket key, which is to the right of the P. And now I'm going to be able to have their name on there. I was just talking about your house to another agent that has a buyer looking in the neighborhood. Whoops. Oh my goodness, I cannot type today. There we go. Is it still available? Okay. The reason why I'm doing that is because I want to have conversations. Yes, I'm going to be calling them, right, once a week, but I also want to send some text. All right, so we're going to say add that template. Now I'm going to go to my campaigns and I'm going to add a campaign. The hashtag is going to be my trigger. No symbol. I'm going to hit next. Now, here's the thing about campaigns that a lot of people misinterpret. You cannot have 2 campaigns running simultaneously on one client. Okay. One of them has to go through and either you have to pause it or it has to finish before the next one would start. The other thing is everyone, well, I won't say everyone, many agents are under the understanding that if I don't have campaigns running for everyone where I'm sending them texts and emails all the time, then I'm going to lose that client. That is so far from the truth that it's like you can't even see it. Okay. The point of a campaign is to create opportunities for you to nurture the relationship. And if all you're doing in a campaign is emailing them and texting them, you're not going to build a relationship. I don't care how wonderful your emails are written and how much value you think that you're giving. No one decides to work with you as an agent because of an email that you sent. It's because they feel comfortable with you. It's because they trust you. And it's because they respect the fact that you can actually get the job done. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and say that this is made for a seller. That doesn't matter. Okay. So all of this does, when you're saying who the campaign is designed for, that's only for you to be able to sort out campaigns and say, okay, let me find all of my campaigns that I have for renters, or let me find all of the campaigns that I have for agents. It's just a way to be able to locate those. I'm going to hit next. I'm going to name this FSBO and I'm going to put Zoom class. So that way I know. All right. And then I'm going to say this is a 10-week, or no, not a 10-week. This is a 7-week campaign for a new FSBO prospect. All right. I'm going to say next. And now it's going to say, okay, you've created this. So I've created this little folder. That's basically what it is. I created some tasks in a text message. So now I have to put them together. So I'm going to find that campaign that I just made in my long list of campaigns. So I'm going to put FSBO. It's going to pop up. Now I'm going to go ahead and add an action. So the first one that I'm going to add is that text message. Now, see how small this little cursor is? That's why I always add a hashtag. And now it's easy for me to find that one text that I made. Okay, I'm going to name it text 1. Now, I am going to set this up based on the number of days that I know is shelf life for that house. Okay, so it told me this neighborhood was a 61-day shelf life. It told me that the average days was up to 61 before it was going to go under contract based on the price of this home, and then also what I had seen. And then also, I know that this house has already been on the market for a month. So I'm going to set this for 31 days. And the reason why is because guess what? After 31 days, because I told them, guys, shelf life is about 2 months. If I wait until after that shelf life is over, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, no, it's still for sale. It's never going to sell. Okay. 2 months doesn't sound like a lot to a lot of people, but when you're trying to sell your house and it's been 2 months, you're like, holy shit, it's been 7 years. This house is never going to sell. Okay. So then I'm going to hit save. And then I'm going to add those tasks. Now I'm going to do the task once a week. I try to make sure it's on a Monday, but again, depending on when I'm actually going to preview this property, it may be different. So I'm going to put a call task and I'm going to do this 7 days from now. And I'm going to hit save. And then I'm going to add that exact same task. This is going to be a call and follow up. And I'm going to make that for 14 days. And I'm going to hit save. And I'm going to do that for every single 7-day period. So let me go ahead and add this task. for the full 3 weeks or the full 7 weeks. So 14, 21. Now, nothing's going to happen. What's going to happen is I'm going to get a task on my dashboard. And then if you have your calendar linked to your kvCORE, which is super easy to do, then these tasks are actually going to show up on your calendar, which means that you're less likely to forget. So we did 21. Now we're going to do 28. I'm going to add this again. Call and follow up. What was the last one I did? 28. Yep. Okay. So 35. And then I'm going to add one more. And this one's going to be 42. If after 42 days, this house has not sold and I have been this focused on calling this client and reaching back out and building that relationship, if they don't list with me, then it's not meant to be. Okay. Now, what am I saying at each of these calls? I'm calling them and I'm saying, hey, Bill, it's Jackie. How are you doing? Oh my gosh, I'm doing great. So I won't take that much of your time, but I just wanted to call and see how are things going this past week. Did you have any showings? No, we didn't have any showings. Okay. Now in that video that I emailed you, did you get a chance to view that? Oh, I did. Okay. So one of the suggestions that I gave you is something that I have done for houses in your neighborhood specifically. So what I find is that the neighbors, they really want to make sure that they keep that community, because your neighborhood really is a community. It's like a family. Oh yeah, that's what we love that part about the house. So one of the things that I did for a couple other people in that neighborhood was I actually door knocked to everyone who's in the parcel. Oh, you mean the court? Nope, the parcel. Well, how many houses is that? Like 100. Oh gosh, Jackie, I have kids. I do not have time for that. Well, I know. But remember, you're selling your house. So if you need help creating that flyer, or if you have questions about what should go on there, let me know. Now, keep in mind, in the state of Arizona, and anytime you're selling a property, there is equal housing. And what that means is you have to make sure that you are not discriminating against anyone based on these protected classes. Oh, okay. All right. And then I hang up the phone. When I call the second time, I asked them the same thing. So is the house still available? Yeah, we still haven't sold it. I don't think this house is ever going to sell. I think the market's crashed. No one's going to sell house. No. Okay. Last week alone, I looked in our MLS and there were this many homes that closed and this many of them were in your zip code. So yes, homes are selling. Okay. We just need to up your thing. Now, one of the things that I mentioned in that video was doing a mega open house. What would you say about doing, like having your house open for people to be able to view maybe on a Saturday or Sunday for about 4 to 6 hours? 6 hours. Yeah, 6 hours. Oh my gosh. My son's in baseball. We're at the ballpark for 6 hours. Oh, well, I mean, do you have 4 hours? No, I don't have 4 hours. Okay. All right. Well, let's brainstorm. Okay. You can't do that. I wouldn't just do it for 2 hours because, you really do need a lot of time. Well, Jackie, let me ask you a question. What's that? Could you do an open house for me? I can't. Why not? Well, my broker does not allow me to host an open house on a home that is not listed with our brokerage. Oh, I mean, I would love to help you out. That's why I want to give you these tips, but I can't personally do anything because I don't represent you as a client. Okay. So if I listed with you, okay, so I'm going to keep giving them these tips. And by reaching out to them, I'm showing them, one, I'm dependable. I'm going to call you every single week. If at any time they're like, you know what, Jackie, no, it's not selling and please stop calling me, then I stop calling them. It's not meant to be. That's not the lead that I'm going to convert. But when I do this and I do it consecutively, I'm showing one, I'm dependable, I'm trustworthy, I'm true to my word, and I'm going to offer you tips. And it just so happens that the tips are things that we do as real estate agents all the time, but for sale by owners don't really want to implement. Okay. So what I'm going to, oh, there's questions in the chat. What was the command to enter? Oh, it is shift and then the bracket key. It's the key right to the right of the P. And that's how those merge tags will show up on text messages. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this campaign with everyone who's in here in the chat. So if you go to the chat, okay, hang on. There is going to be a very long letter and number combination. Okay. Now, if you have never copied a campaign from other people, don't worry, I'm going to show you how to do it. So basically, you're going to take that entire, from the first three to the last lowercase a, and you're going to copy it. Then inside of your kvCORE, you're going to go to My Campaigns, and then don't click Add a Campaign. Click this little button. Okay, it's like the copy button. When you click it, a magic little spot opens up and it says, please enter the campaign token. The number that I put in the chat is the token. So you're going to paste it in there, hit enter, and it's going to say, you're getting ready to clone a campaign. It could take 15 minutes. It's not going to take 15 minutes. Okay. Once you hit yes, it'll take just a little bit, and then you will see that campaign showing up in your campaign library. Now it's going to be blue. Okay, it's going to be blue. Or I'm sorry, it's going to be gray, which means that it's not going to be started. So you would actually have to turn it on for it to start working for you. But that's going to go ahead and that would be there. All right, any questions, or does anyone need to see anything that I did a second time? Yes, no, we're good. I have to admit, this is the first class ever that I'm the only face that I can see. That's weird. You got it. Awesome, Valerie. Hey, Ed, how are you? I love it. Now I get to see someone's face. Thank you. I love that Ed's such a rule follower. He's like, I will show you my face. It's not even like a rule, but like, thank you. It's no fun teaching a class where it's like completely black, everyone's quiet. It's nerve-wracking. All right, so let me show you the campaign that I had created for the expireds. So expireds are a little bit different. I'm not always as comfortable calling expired listings, but I try. When I was talking to another agent who's extremely successful, and he was like, Jackie, expireds are exactly like for sale by owners. Use the exact same strategy. I'm like, okay. And so I was like, all right, let's try this. Okay, so here's the campaign that I made. This is a 10-day campaign for expireds. And he said the exact same thing. The important thing is to get in and preview the home. So how can I encourage an expired seller to let me come into their house and go ahead and view it? So what I'm going to say is, hey, you know what? I have some buyers who are looking in your neighborhood. We've already seen everything that's for sale. Now, obviously, make sure that there's something for sale in the neighborhood, and then kind of know a little bit about those houses. But it wasn't really working for them. I know probably the last thing you want is a set of buyers coming in and looking at your home. Would it be okay if I came in and previewed your property for them? Oh, you know what? We are not selling. We were going to sell because my husband was being relocated, but we are not selling now. Oh, well, that is a blessing. All right, well, congratulations. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. And then hang up. Okay. Otherwise, go in and view the home. Again, what you're going to do is while you're there, you're going to ask about the same types of things, but then you're going to start, I don't want to say probing, but you are probing them to find out, you know what? You have a beautiful home. Why do you think it didn't sell in the time that it was on the market? Well, we didn't get any showing requests. Okay. Did the agent have any kind of open house? Like, were they reaching out to other agents that were in their database that they had cross sales with? Do they have a lot of friends that are in the business? No. Okay. Well, did they at least share the property with everyone who's in their brokerage in that area and state? You know, I don't know. Okay. What I'm doing is I'm talking about the things that I do, because guess what? A lot of expireds, and I hate to say this, and please don't take offense to it, but people who got into the business when houses were going like this, and I mean like the listing side, it was super easy to be a listing agent. Okay. As a under 5-year licensed real estate agent, that would have been easy for me to list a house because I didn't have to do any work. What we're finding is now that the market has shifted, people who have not maybe seen a shift in the market, they've always been used to that type of market, they're struggling a little bit. It's not that they can't do the job, it's just they've never really had to think outside of the box on how to sell a property. Okay. And so I would never, and keep in mind the code of ethics, you are not allowed to talk bad about a real estate agent. I don't care if they like French kissed your husband. No, you cannot talk bad about them. Okay. We're held to a code of ethics. But what you can say is, you know what? These are some things that I do. Don't talk bad about the other agent. Don't be like, oh yeah, that whole brokerage is just like, you know, oh, EXP. Yeah. All they do is recruit agents. They're not even selling houses. Okay. Don't do that. That's bad. All right. And you never know if that person that they listed with was possibly a family member. Okay. So all I'm doing while I'm there is just saying, okay, well, you know what? Are you still thinking that you would want to list the house again? Or are you just like, you know what? It's not meant to be. We'll try it again next year. I want to get as much information as I can. And now when I send them something, I'm going to send them again a core present, but with different information. I am going to talk about the value of the agent. I am going to bring up my numbers. I am going to try to win this listing. I am going to show up the comparables. I'm going to talk about pricing accordingly. I'm going to talk about staging the home. Okay. And I'm going to say unoffensively, hey guys, you know, one of the things that I find that a lot of buyers are looking for when they come into a house is they want to know the purpose of each of the rooms in the house. They want to be able to kind of envision, how can I set up my existing furniture? How is this all going to work with my life? And that front room, I understand because I have 4 kids, that is just like, hey, here is the toy room. However, not everyone who's coming in to view your home has a whole truckload of kids like we do. So is there a way that we could use some of the existing furniture in your house just to kind of repurpose that bedroom or that area? In your bedroom, I saw that you had a couch and a chair. Could we move that into that room, make that kind of like a little reading area? We can get, I have some storage containers that like have really pretty shelves. Okay, so maybe I'm going to show them mine. And what I can do is I can loan them to you. That way the kids' toys are still there, but we can just put them away before showings. Oh, Jackie, that would be a great idea. Well, don't you think the bedroom's going to look like empty now? No, it's actually going to make it look much bigger. Oh, okay. So I'm giving them suggestions on different things. That's what I do for expireds. And then I have this short 10-day campaign where I am emailing them, asking them, hey, are you still interested in selling? Yes, it's very straightforward because I don't have time to chase people. Okay. Putting a home back on the market. It's just a little text message. This is a phone call. There's another email about listing ideas. This is a call for follow-up. These are the second text message about listing. I'm following up with a phone call. Look how many calls I'm making in 10 days. Because I don't know if they're going to answer the phone. Now, if they answer the phone, am I going to keep calling them? No, that's like single white female. Don't do that. Okay. But if I haven't called them, I need to be reminded to call them. So I'm going to do the exact same thing with this one. I'm going to share this token with you. Look at this. I'm such a good person. I'm giving you all 2 campaigns. All right. So that is the second token code that is for the expired. All right. Any questions? No? I'm going to wait and see if there's anything in the chat. No? All right. Well, this was a very quiet class. All right. So, okay, well, if there's nothing else, because usually I usually leave the last bit to go over any questions. All right. So obviously you've attended this class. You know that I do classes. There's a ton of free material that you can get from me. Oh, I see something in the chat. Hang on. Got that one too. Good. Oh, yes, yes. After you do this, and remember, you're going to get a copy of this recording. So you can pause it so that way you can be like, okay, what was that step or what was this? Because it's easy for me to go through. One, because I teach this all the time, but also because until you've done it in actual practice, it's going to seem like it's just like, this is different. Okay. I do have a YouTube channel. It's called kvCORE Coaching with Jackie. It is well, obviously it's YouTube, it's free. But I post tips. There is actually a 30-day kvCORE challenge that is 100% free. It's in one of my, I don't know what it's called, like a group or something. I don't know. It's in there on the YouTube channel. I also have a Facebook group. It's called kvCORE Elite. That's a Facebook page where basically you have access to me. You also have access to other people who have attended pretty much every single one of my classes. So if I don't get to answer the question first, someone else typically comes in and like shares information on different tips and things. I just created a kvCORE ebook. So the ebook is it's nearly 40 pages, and it's basically 5 of my classes with all of the content and all of the steps in order to do it. It includes like a daily checklist of what you should be doing in kvCORE. I believe I talk about for sale by owners. I think I talk about squeeze pages and ways to use those. So there's lots of stuff, and that's actually what that QR code is. I have a new thing where I'm sending out weekly tasks. I had a couple people on TikTok, which I don't know if TikTok's going to be around much longer. It's already gone in Montana. But on TikTok, I had several people reach out to me, and they were like, hey, have you ever thought about just like sending out a monthly like task and say, hey, these are things you should do this month in your kvCORE? And I was like, no, I haven't. I was like, but now I am. And so I was like, okay, let's go ahead and build this. So I made this this new thing that people can get, where every month you get a list of weekly items to do. There's anywhere from 2 to 4 items. It's going to have the action item, and then it's going to have all of the directions on how to actually implement that. And then it comes out to you every single month. Obviously, I do these virtual classes, which you're here, so you know about that. I do one-on-one Zooms. It doesn't have to be just one person. It's just, that means that I don't plan the content. I teach the content that you need to be taught. So basically it's customizable stuff. I have monthly membership that you can totally ask me. And then I do custom kvCORE coaching for team leaders and franchise and broker owners. So if there's anything that you need, I am here for you. Gina, that's awesome. Thank you so much. All right, guys. So I am going to convert this video, and then I will be sending it over to all of you along with those 2 token codes, just in case you didn't get them from the chat. And I will hopefully see you at another class. All right. Oh, if you are considering doing the ebook, use the coupon code ACTNOW and you get $30 off of it. So, all right, guys. See you later. Bye.